I like that a lot. Keith Johnson, good morning, and thank you so much for being here.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, let's jump right into it. You are a fantastic musician. Let's talk about the Keith Johnson and the Big Muddy Band.
Yeah, well, we started about 6 years ago with the Big Muddy Band. I've done a European tour in 2018. 2019, we did a Brazil tour kind of with the Mississippi Delta National Heritage Area, and just by myself being from the Delta and having that connection with Muddy Waters, with him being my great uncle, having that heritage, that connection, that blues. So that's why I wrote 2 songs that entitled, one, The Blues Chose Me, then I wrote a song entitled Come to Mississippi, and my father, my grandfather, Ollie Morganfield, is also connected with this, along with my mother, Patricia Brown Morganfield, as well. So that's how I'm connected to the Morganfield family.
Let's be honest about this. A lot of musicians play, but you've got music in your blood.
Of course, yeah, just having that alongside of the traditional gospel sound vocally that I have, because I was also trained by my grandmother, the late Texella Fields. She had a radio station, well, she had a radio show on 94 Bad on every Sunday morning for about 26 years until she passed in 2006. So by her having that traditional sound, that traditional tone, along with the gospel singing that she did, that kind of helped me transition to more vocally blues player, actually. You know, it helped me out.
Let's talk about the Delta Blues Museum in Clarksdale. Obviously, it's something, it's a big connection for you.
Yeah, Clarksdale, Muddy, when he left, about 4 or 5 years old, he went to live with his grandmother in Clarksdale, Mississippi, at the Stovall Plantation. So I visited the Delta Blues Museum in Clarksdale, have a lot of historic stuff there related to a lot of blues musicians in the Delta, but specifically Muddy Waters. And I often play in Clarksdale at the Ground Zero Blues Club as well.
When you think about your great uncle, the great Muddy Waters, I mean, when you're by yourself and it's dark outside, what does it mean, or what do you think about?
I mean, I connect spiritually with it as well, because knowing that Muddy and so many other blues musicians had to struggle, they had to work the plantation, they had to get themselves out of that field work to go up north along with the Great Migration to kind of make a living for themselves, and all they had was the music. And I look at myself, you know, being fortunate enough to earn an education with a bachelor's degree, a master's degree as well, and other certifications, but having my own struggle within society today. So I have a spiritual connection that I can relate in some areas, but not the struggle area as far as it was economically.
Why would you tell young kids to pick up an instrument and give it a shot?
Well, I think it's important that we learn an instrument, not only just for all genres of music, because we love music, but our heritage with just young African-American men, because there's not enough African-American men playing the blues, something that we own, something that we live. So it's important to continue the legacy of blues music being related to African-American men.
What do you want people to know and remember about your great uncle?
I just want people to, you know, remember the legacy, remember the story that he had, and also how he helped musicians such as the Rolling Stones and other musicians. He's the foundation, the father of rock and roll music. You know, he took that Delta sound, he electrified it, took it to Chicago, and then as far as blues in Britain and England, you know, he developed all of that with his inspiration and the inspiration that they had at Chess Records.
Muddy Waters, the father of the Chicago blues. I mean, that's a heavy title. I mean, they don't just kind of give out titles like that.
Yeah, they
often.
don't. They don't, but, you know, Muddy, I look at myself as well. The blues chose Muddy Waters, you know, and the blues, it's a spirit. The spirit of the blues, the roots music, it was destined for him to do that. And just being from Mississippi, you know, being born probably about 5 or 10 minutes from where I live in Glen Allen, Mississippi. You know, starting to play guitar at 16, 17 years old. That's when I started to play guitar. And fortunately, I started the harmonica late, and I was self-taught with this harmonica. So having a similar story, you know.
With that guitar, could you please play us out to commercial break?
Oh, of course.